Reducing vehicle accidents in teen drivers using the Graduated Driver Licensing Program. The Graduated Driver Licensing (GDL) program is designed to limit the risk of vehicle accidents caused by teen drivers by limiting risky conditions and building driving experiences through a set of laws. The overall program centers around limiting nighttime unsupervised driving, restricting teen passengers, and setting requirements for supervised driving. The U.S. does not currently have national GDL laws. Therefore, states may select their own guidelines for these limitations and how to enforce them. Teen drivers have the highest rates of accidents among all age groups. At their young age, they tend to feel more confident in their driving abilities than they should. When this overestimated ability is coupled with an underestimation of dangers on the road, the outcome may be destructive. As teenagers grow and mature, so do their driving abilities. The GDL program allows for the gradual increase in driving experience before complete freedom on the road is granted. The 3 stages of the GDL system are listed as follows: learner's permit, intermediate license, and unrestricted license. The main goal of this program is to reduce the number of teen vehicle accidents. This project focuses on the key question: is the GDL program effective in meeting its goal of reducing the number of teen vehicle accidents? Determinants of health. Intrapersonal, interpersonal, institutional, and community factors that surround teens, as well as public policy, all impact the efficacy of this program. At the intrapersonal level, an individual's driving skills, perception of danger on the road, and overall attitude towards safe driving will impact a teen's driving performance. Interpersonal relationships and social norms heavily influence driving habits. If a teen is surrounded by friends and family who find it acceptable to partake in risky driving habits such as texting or driving under the influence, the individual is more likely to act in the same way. The school and educational programs that are available to teens also affect the efficacy of this program. A study conducted by Shell et al. Determined that the presence of a driver education program further reduced the number of teen vehicle accidents when accompanied by GDL laws. Community awareness of the risk of teen drivers may have an influence on the efficacy of the program. For example, if a community has experienced loss of teens due to car accidents, teens may be more conscientious about this issue and take driving more seriously. Public policy factors include implementation and enforcement of GDL laws. Without proper enforcement, the program will be ineffective. Teen drivers are a unique population in that they are just beginning to learn how to drive. Their experiences during their learning period may develop driving habits that may persist for life. By teaching safe driving practices when teens initially learn how to operate a vehicle and navigate the roads may reduce the occurrence of accidents. Safe driving is a unique public health issue because it is universal. Unlike smoking cessation, which only affects smokers, GDL programs affect everyone on the road, whether they are drivers, passengers, or pedestrians. Therefore, there will always be a need for regulations and programs that ensure safe driving practices. Because driving affects people of any socioeconomic status, race, ethnicity, geographic location, and countless other distinguishing factors, the developers of this program created it to appeal to teens from all types of backgrounds. It's important that these programs allow teens to realize the great responsibility that accompanies a driver's license, and how risky driving habits can not only affect themselves but the lives around them as well. This program protects public health because the act of dangerous driving does not just affect the driver, but the community as a whole. Unlike many other risky health behaviors, driving poses a threat directly to the operator of the vehicle, in addition to the passengers in the car, drivers and passengers in surrounding cars, and even the pedestrians and bikers. By limiting the risk of vehicle accidents caused by teens, by implementing GDL laws, the entire community is safer on the road. Through limiting unsupervised nighttime driving and setting a minimum supervised driving experience hours, teens not only gain driving experience and skills, they are more likely to drive safer and make smarter decisions on the road while being supervised. The laws that limit the number of passengers in the car reduce the likelihood of distracted driving that may interfere with other cars and people on the road. Infrastructure. The key players in the development of the GDL program are not the typical image of a public health professional. Because this system functions primarily through the GDL laws, safety organizations and lawmakers needed to work together to create the successful system that is set in place today. The National Highway Safety Administration developed the first GDL system in the U.S. that was implemented in Maryland in 1978. Prior to this time, the system was proven successful in Australia. Many elements of this program served as models for similar programs in other countries. The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety also plays a role in the success of this program. This organization is responsible for collecting and displaying all data regarding driving and also conducts various research. Because GDL laws are not national, individual states have the power to implement the laws and how strict they choose to be. Although all 50 states have implemented systems, the standards and details of the program vary from state to state. In order to ensure that a state's program will be effective, lawmakers must work hand in hand with the National Highway Safety Administration to ensure that their standards and laws will in fact make a positive impact on the number of teen vehicle accidents. While public lawmakers and program directors are internal stakeholders and directly impact the GDL program, almost all of society could be considered external stakeholders. Primarily, teen drivers are affected by this program, seeing that they are the target population. Parents and guardians are extremely involved in this program as well. Without parent supervision while driving, this program would not exist. Any driver or passenger who is not a teen or a parent supervising, which labels a large portion of society, are also considered stakeholders. This program indirectly affects them by making the road a safer place as teens partake in less risky driving behavior. One additional external stakeholder would be insurance companies. Teen drivers are more expensive to insure than experienced adult drivers. As teen driving habits improve as a result of the GDL program, insurance companies may be dealing with fewer teen-caused vehicle accidents. The DMV also plays a role in the GDL program by providing the written and driving tests for the learner's permit and the driver's license. According to a study conducted by Shell et al., the use of driver education courses, which may be offered through high schools or private driving schools, further decrease the risk of vehicle accidents caused by teen drivers. Despite the pre-existing efficacy of the GDL program, when teens also participate in an education program, their safe driving skills are further improved. However, driver education is still not a requirement within the GDL program. The implementation of a GDL program relies heavily on the enforcement of the laws by local and state police. Without strict enforcement, the GDL program would collapse. Repercussions need to be given to drivers who do not adhere and abide by the laws within the program. In addition to systematic resources, parents are key to the implementation of the program. If a parent allows their teen to drive without supervision or at night, the program breaks down. Through surface transportation programs, the federal government may pass bills to offer funding for GDL programs. A great example of this is the MAP 21, the Moving Ahead for Progress in the 21st Century Act, bill signed by President Obama in 2012. This bill provided $105 billion between 2013 and 2014 to various programs throughout the country. Specific to the GDL program, this bill offered incentives to states to improve upon their GDL programs and meet national standards. Additionally, this bill was also encouraged states to pass new laws and crack down on distracted driving. Politics and ethics. When public health and law intersect, one ethical concern that commonly arises is individual liberty. Mary Jane Snyder states, "One of the central controversies in public health is the extent to which government can and should restrict individual freedom for the purpose of improving the community's health." In general, laws associated with public health and limiting one's individual liberty are accepted when the law restricts behaviors that cause direct harm to others. The less direct the harm is to others, the more controversial the law may be. In the case of the GDL laws within the program, The limitation of individual liberty would fall into the category of direct harm. If a teenager does not have enough driving experience and is driving in an unsafe manner, causing an accident, that teenager is causing direct harm to another person. With that logic, this law should pose minimal ethical concern within the general public. The teens, the very population this program aims to help, may be the largest opponents to the GDL program. The limitations enforced by the programs have the potential to hinder a teen's social environment. The social life of a teenager is typically very valuable, and even a well-meaning law may impact that. By limiting the number of underage passengers and the nighttime driving restrictions, teenagers become limited to their social options without parent supervision. This may be particularly true in a rural community where driving a substantial distance is the only option for social interaction. Additionally, some parents may be opposed to this program. Teaching a child how to drive is a very time-consuming task, and when the required supervised driving time is factored into this task, it becomes a huge commitment. Parents that work abnormal hours or are involved in a busy life may not be able to commit to the level of supervision the GDL laws require. Some opponents to the GDL program still attempt to claim that driver education alone can reduce the risk of accidents just as well as the GDL program. However, research has shown that driver education programs are most effective when paired with the GDL program. With this in mind, the business of private driving instruction and driver education programs may suffer, especially if people begin to rely heavily on GDL rather than simply private education. The most significant factors that contributed to the need of the GDL program are most likely the social factors. Risky teenage behavior tends to occur more when teens are with friends. This same logic should apply to driving. When a teenager is driving in a vehicle full of friends, they are more likely to become distracted. The limitation of underage passengers in the vehicle addresses this need. Another social need is the risk of driving at night. The driver, as well as others on the road, are more likely to be compromised by alcohol or fatigue at night, therefore increasing the chances of accidents. Young drivers are especially at risk in these situations due to their lack of experience, even in the daytime. One of the most obvious results of any car accident is the economic cost. If a car is totaled or a large amount of damage has been caused, full insurance coverage is not always guaranteed. If the GDL program was put into place to help reduce the occurrence of vehicle accidents, the likelihood of needing to ever pay for a new car or extensive repairs, all caused by an accident, decrease as well. Additionally, teen drivers are the most expensive population to insure. Insurance companies are aware that teenagers are considered the highest risk for car insurance, and therefore they are required to pay premiums that reflect that. By implementing this program and limiting the number of vehicle accidents caused by teens, the need for lowering insurance usage is met. Although there may not be direct political factors associated with this program, policymakers and legislature do affect the GDL laws. Because these laws are not federal and vary state by state, the stringency of these laws depend on state policymakers. This includes how much freedom teen drivers will be allowed. This program is unique in that the main component of its function is the laws associated with it. Therefore, marketing this program is not affected by social, economic, or political values, because participation is not exactly voluntary. Rather, this program functions by reprimanding individuals that choose to break the associated laws.